let me take a time to say a special good morning to everyone listening to Classic Radio 105.5, 105.9 on the FM dial. Those of you viewing GBN TV, good morning to you, whether you're on Channel 7, Channel 11, Channel 20. Good morning to you all. So welcome. It's to the point. Today being Tuesday, the 7th day of January, within the year 2025. 7 days already within the year. Good morning to everyone, especially those of you via our social media platforms. Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Those of you in the parts of the world where the weather is not favorable for you and you're thinking about your home country, Grenada, is understandable how you feel. And I hope we could bring some warmth to you this morning here on the program. I'm your host, GT. I'll be you until it's 10 a.m. this morning. It's Opposition Tuesday here on the program. We do entertain, of course, a member of the opposition here on Island, whether it's from the Sister Isles of Carriacou or Sister Isles of Carriacou, Petit Martinique representing, or the mainland Grenada. We do have a representing this morning from the opposition. We have for you, of course, let me see if I get the name right. I've been practicing it for some reason, so let me see if I get it right. I can see him laughing this. So he's saying good morning to Mr. Nikata Mawuto. I hope I got the name right this morning.
Let's go. Kitaka. He as in key in a
so
vehicle.
It's Kitaka.
Yes.
All right. Well, we got that taken care of now. Good morning to you, sir. How you doing? And you are the public relations officer for the New National Party. I want to welcome you back once again. I think it's the second time I'm having you on the program, and it's the first time for 2025. How you doing this morning, sir? Welcome.
I'm doing good. The rain is falling, so I feel good when the rain is falling. Happy New Year to you and everyone who's listening on GBN, Facebook, wherever. Thank you for tuning in, and Happy New Year. Blessings, prosperity, a lot of money, and success, and everything for 2025.
I think maybe one word you said that may have ringed everybody's ear. The money.
But look at the green, NMP is the party of green, when NMP in power. The money doesn't be running, so I know they miss us too, for the money run. So hopefully when next general election, they do the right thing.
All right. Well, you talking money and all of that. We will get all of that conversation going as we move along this morning. We just wrapped up Christmas 2024. I've noticed via social media, we saw of course, the newly elected political leader of the New National Party making a wrongs for various parishes, including the Tonga St. George, Grenville, and other parishes around the island. We also saw of course, the former Prime Minister, of course, accompanying and so forth. How has it been for the NDP? How has it been for the Christmas season? Share with us some of the activities. And secondly, second question that comes in today, and I hope you get them all in. How was these efforts reflected on the party's, commitment to community and service, especially around that particular time of the year? Tell us about that.
Okay, well, a core value and principle of our party is service above self. And in politics is about people. And these are some things that the New National Party embody. So if you notice, you mentioned the political leader and the former political leader going to St. George's, Grenville. I mean, the images speak for themselves. Like, you could see the love and the hope and the inspiration that the people on the ground felt, because let's not be shy about it. This Christmas season wasn't right for many people economically. I mean, the business community were crying out, very slow. I mean, people on the port balling out, were not able to get their goods on time, so they missed out on a peak economic period. So seeing our leadership on the ground really did a number to kind of help to bring in hope and some light in a period that wasn't very light and bright for many people. But apart from engaging with the people, the usual toys, giveaway, and all of that, we have been busy at work. Christmas wasn't really festive for the party because our political leader and other key people in the party have been working very hard in terms of our strategic plans and being able to execute on the massive work ahead to, get our party in tip-top shape for our next general election and for returning to office and for governing and taking Grenada to the next level. So, lots of meetings, lots of strategic work, lots of writing, lots of engagement. Christmas wasn't ham and sorrel and ginger beer for the party. We were busy at work as we understand that we needed to hit the ground running in 2025. So that's critical. The second question you mentioned, remember, Grenadians know NNPN. we've been in office for lots of years. And so when you hear give something a try and it's not working out, you tend to have that withdrawal symptom and wanting back what you had. So we definitely could see, if you compare the energy 2022 when things were still fresh and people were in hiding and still kind of looking at the new party with some hope and optimism. Fast forward now where people are calling down our phones and, shouting at us too, hey, NMP, what's going on? We need you guys, and so that was felt on the ground when the political leader and the former political leader went out. Look at those pictures. Look at the look in people's eyes. Look at those strong, tight hugs. Look at it. You can see it was authentic and genuine, and it definitely tells a thousand stories. So, people are at the core of what we do in the New National Party: care, empathy, and so that's fundamental, and that would never change in terms of our approach going forward.
You spoke about, the work and the energy of the New National Party, ranging from, of course, the month of December, and we've seen a new energy, as you mentioned. The new NMP executive has hit the ground running, as you also mentioned that. What is that driving force behind this fresh energy and momentum, if I may ask?
I must give credit to our new political leader. She, people don't know, she's a very humble person, but she walks with a lot of strong accolades of being at the top in her game in terms of emotional intelligence, and her certified in leadership, and not only on the book level, but practically. She's been serving for decades in Grenada and working in many different sectors: youth, education, and information, etc. And she is a strategic boss. She's someone that does not sleep. She works tirelessly, and she put in a lot of effort to come up with and get someone going on a critical strategic plan. I call it the secret sauce, the winning formula. And so she's setting the tone, and I think as people in the party see how much she's putting in the effort, how much she's paying attention to the little details, how much she's engaging with people, reaching out to disgruntled supporters, calling out and engaging everybody and making everybody feel seen and heard and inspired and motivated. It's really ushering in a new energy. We had an executive meeting yesterday, and she presented a vision for the party and literally put out a charge to the executive and asking for our support to lead different committees, different initiatives. And the body language of people in the executive was upbeat. Everyone was excited and inspired and motivated. And I must give her credit for, taking the bull by its horns and really owning the leadership of the party and realizing that, time is of the essence and election is imminent soon. We're waking up every day in the party right now and we're thinking like election is tomorrow. We're not playing around. And I must give her credit for that. And it's definitely infectious and it's inspiring the different tentacles of the party. And I only anticipate this extending beyond, and we recruiting more people and building more momentum as time goes on.
You spoke a whole lot there, and something just came to mind. That new approach, as you mentioned a while ago, which is a lot of inspirations coming from the Honorable Emlyn Pierre, now being the political leader of the New National Party. If we date back to 2024, from the of course was it the General Council, then we had the convention and so forth. That new approach, that new energy that you speak of, what's that main driving force for it coming into 2025 as where we at right now? We're in the initial stages of the month of January, the initial stages of the year 2025. That new approach, that driving force, what is really the momentum behind that?
As any serious organization, we lost 2022 election. So we had to reflect. We had to go back into the drawing board. We had to accept where we made mistakes, where we could do better, where we could improve. That's one. Also, we are connected to the people in the community. Unlike other political organizations, we're not in the clouds and out of touch with reality. We are with the people every single day. And the cries of the people and the voices of the people and the urging of the people for us to ensure that we get our ducks in a row and get things lined up is important. Like, we have a responsibility to the people, and that also has been a critical driving force, because we cannot, let Grenada down or disappoint. I mean, we have done it before. I mean, 2008 we came in. After 2008, 2012, 2013, sorry, we came in, and we had to do some seismic, colossal work to lift the economy up from the grave, to the point where in 2022, when the NDC administration came into office, they could look at a 500 million or whatever in there, smiling at them. It seemed easy, but we had to battle COVID and do a lot of heavy lifting to really bring us back, structural adjustment programs, all of that. And I think, like, we know the backbreaking work it takes to really keep the country running on a level. I mean, the opponent can, in opposition, they talk, they say a lot, but we see now coming into office, and it's not as easy as it said. You could talk a big talk, but to walk the walk and execute is a different story. And we have executed consistently over the many years. I mean, and so the cries of the people, the responsibility or understanding of what it takes to really keep the economy afloat and keep people, thriving is driving us, because we see the massive work ahead to rescue the country. And it's not just NMPI, we as the party waking up and just spontaneously thinking about that. It's the data is showing it. People are reaching out, and so we have a responsibility to take action.
The vision of the new national party in 2025. I'm assuming it would not be the same approach as been seen over the years as an opposition party. That vision moving into 2025 and beyond. What are we to hear and see from the NMP in 2025 that may show a significant difference from NMP in the previous years? How could you explain that for me?
Well, fundamentally, on a party level, our vision is to create a strong, united party, built on a legacy of progress and visionary leadership, and committed to our supporters and a better Grenada for all. So that's on a party level. Now, that then has to build out on a national level. So now our vision is a united, educated, healthy, safe, and prosperous Grenada for all, driven by technology, innovation, and people's participation. I don't think I could break it down any simpler than that. And our leader hammered this home in our executive meeting. This is going to be a part of our affirmations going forward, and it's going to be like our guidebook to continue to ensure that we stick to this, and every idea, every policy, everything that we do going forward should reflect that. Another thing is, we are in no way, shape, or form interested in the personal politics of slandering and bringing down people. We have a serious responsibility to the people of the country and coming up with ideas and solutions to help improve their lives and create opportunities. So we are laser focused, myopic even in that, and silencing all the noise and all the chatter and all the propaganda on the ground. Because let's face it, GT, we've all saw the propaganda online, like, oh, after the 15th of December, after convention, NMP done, we mash up with this, with that. And has it happened? No, I haven't seen that. What I saw from an executive meeting yesterday was hunger, fire. People are fired up and ready to do the work. And that is only going to increase. So, that vision that I just shared, we are laser focused on that. We're laser focused on bringing it to the community, the constituencies, the different PDs, to ensure everybody is singing as much as possible from the same hymn sheet, so that we can be a strong, united force going forward and ensure that we handle our business and return to office and be victorious in the next general elections.
Before we drew for a break, but I just want to tap this in as you mentioned now. How is the unification level within the new national party? How does it stand right now? The unification level in terms of everyone, from the executive to the
I'll say this to you, GT. People say, oh, NMP are in conflict and so on. Okay. Which organization that actually doing anything wouldn't have everybody like even though we want to get to a final destination where we are on the same page, the process to get on the same page is sometimes rigorous debates. Like, I might have a different view of how I think we should execute on this. Dr. Mitchell might have a view, Honorable MLNP might have a view, but what NMP has demonstrated over time is that we can always consult and take all those views, manage the conflict of different views, and at the final conclusive decision, move to the direction together as a unified force. So right now, let's say, for instance, our political leader has been on the ball, reaching out to any possible party, critical party member or so, who may have issues on disgruntlement, to listen to them, hear them out, show them that they're valued, and give them that pathway to continue to contribute to the party despite our differences. We all would never be on the same page in the initial phases, but there's a process of compromise that gets us there, and a maturity to ensure that we sometimes have to sacrifice personal self-interest for the collective interest and the best possible sustainable future of the party. And I'm confident that that is happening, and the momentum will continue to build, and over time we would only just continue to grow, get more unified, continue to find the best way to work together. And just as how they were talking about we were going to mash up by December, that talk done, gone already.
All right, Kitaka. All right, Kitaka. We drew for a break, and just lost you there for a wee bit, but we drew for a break. Let's take it. When we come back, we continue the conversation. Stay with us, folks. It's To The Point, Classic Radio, GBN TV. We'll be right back. Stay with us, folks. Don't touch your dial.
For 30 years, we've been driven by a commitment to our customers and to continuously improving our standards of quality.
Through every success and challenge, your support remains unwavering.
That loyalty has inspired us to listen, learn, and return with a renewed commitment.
We've taken important steps to ensure that your health and safety remain top priority.
And each bottle is a reflection of our promise to deliver the highest standards of quality.
As we move forward, we want to thank you for always standing by us.
We are honored and extremely grateful to be back. Thanks to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, and cheers to 30 more years.
Welcome back. Welcome back to our listeners. Welcome back to our viewers. It's To The Point here on GBN TV and Classic Radio. Let's say welcome back to my guest, Mr. Kitaka. I'm getting it. Mr. Kitaka, good morning to you and welcome back once again.
You got it, no, man.
Yeah.
Like a boss, then
I'm getting it. Kitaka, I'm getting it right. Let's continue with the conversation this morning. I want to focus a wee bit on youth. That is, of course, seem to be one of the fundamentals of the new National Party, seem to be attracting a wave of young people, if I could say that, and energizing their membership. What do you think is drawing the youth to the party at this particular time? You being a youngster within the, of course, the party, just getting to the realm of the public relations officer and so forth. What is drawing young folks to to the realm of the new National Party?
Again, goes back to our leader. I mean, she has demonstrated over her tenure in service her commitment to young people. I think, like everyone in Grenada, when you think about MLNP, you think about youth. She just has a knack of being able to, one, identify talent, two, provide opportunities for talent to grow and develop, and three, give us the room to govern and to show our capability and to manifest and actualize our potential. And I think that is a secret sauce that has been working as well. Like, she has built a lot of relationships with young people over the years. I mean, I'm from St. Andrew Southeast, our constituency, and so getting opportunities to grow and thrive and having that relationship with her, it's really like pulling in young people. And I mean, come on, you could look over the years based on our policies, look at the Money program, look at the Empower program, look at Youth Biz, Project Fly. Like, we have always been a party that has recognize the importance of creating opportunity for young people. And we have demonstrated that in a tangible way over the years. I mean, you could go through our society, and if you ask many people who are successful and established right now, many can point to a period when they were part of the Money program. And I mean, so just those basic fundamental things, it definitely gives that inspiration and pull to youth. And then seeing the party at our last convention elect young people on the executive, because even though our opponent on the other side have spoken about youth a lot, look at the executive, look at who are the key decision makers, look at who is really calling the shots. It's not young people. I mean, look, I'm only 31. I'm the PRO. We have the young Amanda. We have Mariana Charles. We have Christopher Diali. We have so much young people coming into the party. And it's just the start. There are many who are signing up for the party silently, who don't want to be as public as I am, but through myself and other young people, they are getting to come into the party. And trust me, over the next quarter, you're going to be seeing a lot more young, fresh faces who are ready, fired up, and is going to contribute to building the party. Trust me on that.
All right. I'm assuming there will be a youth convention coming up pretty soon?
Definitely. So our youth and women's armed conventions happen separate from the main party convention. So the political leaders set a target at our meeting yesterday that we cannot go into February without having our youth arms and women arms and so on up and running. So expect our youth convention to happen very soon. I mean, so far, even though we don't have a formalized youth now based on our constitution, now we have to move to fresh elections. The people like Amanda Japal and so on have still been working tirelessly and expect to see the youth driving the content and driving the messaging of the new national party going forward. Like, lots of planning has been going in, lots of work have been going in, and I'm so excited, and I can't wait for us to unleash, and so that Grenada can really see what the youth of NMP are capable of.
Could you probably explain to me the youth convention? And so you mentioned that is coming up. You spoke also about the women's convention of the party. Also, what is the aim and the achievements from the youth convention that will be coming? What do you tend to aim and achieve from that?
Well, we aim to be able to attract top talent, both in capability, commitment, and competence, to be able to do the work ahead in those different demographics. So for the youth arm, we're going to have our youth executive, our chairman, our secretary, treasurer, all of that. And then they now are going to be able to then drive the youth agenda. We have massive initiatives to train and develop our people within the society. Just our leader spoke about us initiating and executing our NNP Institute, where we are going to be training and developing young people in all of the core skill sets that are required to keep a party functioning and operational. So whether it's canvassing, social media, whether it's organizing events, execution, like, we're going to be creating pathways and opportunities for young people within the youth arm and in Grenada to come into the party and get marketable skills and also where they can contribute to the party as well as even their own professional life. I mean, on the women's arm part, like, come on, NNP can credit a lot of its success over the years to the women of the National Party. Trust me, coming into the party, I am overwhelmed by the love and the support and the strength of the women of the National Party, and they are critical to any major work going forward. And likewise, like, getting strong, competent, capable, compassionate women in the youth, in the women's arm, in those critical positions that then can can then be a catalyst to driving more women engagement in the party and the work that has to be done so that, again, ultimately, the party can become stronger, more unified, and we can do the business of winning the next general elections.
All right. I want to switch gears a wee bit. Dr. Mitchell, Dr. Keith Mitchell has been, the cornerstone of the new National Party for decades. How has his transition now that he has taken a more of the advisory role of the party, how has that transition been thus far? How has it, just let me know how has it been from him moving on from being the hem of the party? He's always been Dr. Mitchell. When you think of the new National Party, now he has, of course, taken up another role. How has that been? That particular role that he has chosen to, of course, pull down.
But first of all, I want to start out from, the propaganda. Let's start there, because let's bust some myths. People are like, oh, first of all, you ain't going no way, this, that. Okay, that's done and dusted, because he's no longer the leader. The other thing, oh, he in the background pulling the strings, and he don't go nowhere, and he'll come back, and all kind of wild theories, which I am in the party. I talk to Dr. Mitchell on a frequent basis. Right now, the boss don't want me to come and call him and ask him for those little simple things like the boss is rolling little short pants and having a good time on a regular day, but also there ever when we need serious support in any different way. But to be honest with you, the boss is transitioning and enjoying his life outside of politics. Most people think he's maybe stressing out about this. Like on a typical day, he's basically enjoying his life. Obviously, we don't believe in just throwing out what was there and just replacing it. We believe in a nice, smooth transition. So obviously, there's a process, and I think our leader is very fortunate to have that mentorship to take her through in the initial stages of getting her feet wet. Dr. Mitchell has been at the helm and done this. He's the GOAT of Grenada politics and regional politics, Commonwealth politics, 3 times winning 15 seats. So if I was in the current political leader's seat, I would want to be able to have him a phone call away to get his opinion, seek his counsel, and all of that. He's also the chairman of the party to go through the procedures of the party and ensure that we're on track. But in all honesty, he's gone from being a political leader. And so I also feel like that is something that Grenadians have not really come to grip with. And even our opponents sometimes still attack him, like, allow the man to just rest himself. He has his podcast. Go on YouTube, subscribe to Let We Hear from Doc, and you can go there and listen to him and see what he's up to. But in terms of him being involved in the party to be some puppet master behind the scenes and all that, I called him man for a PA system the other day. The man said, "What calling him for a PA system? Handle it." He's really giving us the opportunity and stepping back and allowing us to really thrive. And I really love that. And I think our political leader is really relishing in this opportunity to really stamp our authority on the party and shape the party in a different image and light and take it, forward into the future. And so we wish Dr. Mitchell all the best as he gradually continues to step back, go and take vacation, go and watch cricket, enjoy yourself, and you've done us very proud. And you can rest assured that we are taking up the mantle very seriously, and we'll call you when we need you. And not only Dr. Mitchell, like there's many other stalwarts in the party, like even for me as a young person in the party, critical is sitting at the feet of these leaders like Dr. Mitchell, Honorable Emmeline Pear, Brother Gregory Bowen, Roland Bola. These are stalwarts, and I want to download as much, and the youth of the party is going to download as much as we can from them so that we could build on the foundation and ensure that we have a hybrid that's fit for purpose, that can do the business of the past and the future, present and the future. So, Doc, if you look at the boss, watch the pictures on him. The boss is healthy, strong, running on the treadmill still. He could outlast some of the youngest of us right now. So big up the boss every time.
All right. You did mention, of course, being the public relations officer. I hope you could invite him to be part of To the Point one of these Tuesday mornings. I could probably hold you to that, right?
Well, maybe you have to go and do an exclusive walk around in the garden with the boss and talk, man.
I would like to leave that up to you. Probably have him invited. If he's listening, Doc, you could always pop in. Let's have a bit of a conversation.
Yeah, I can work on that for you. But I remember right now the new NNP we are listening to the data, It's not about emotions. It's not about how we feel. I mean, people say they want young and they want fresh. The boss has done his part. He's been prime minister for many years, been there, done that, and it's a lot of work. I'm sure he must be happy now.
But it's always great to
ringing down every time with some problem or some issue, and he's happy to support our new leader who now has the weight of responsibility on her shoulders. So I'll work on that for you.
No problem.
But the boss is enjoying his transition out of politics.
All right, great. Let's talk about the Honorable Evelyn Pierre. Of course, she recently shared that 5-point strategic plan for the party. Can you give us a little bit of an outline on that plan? So, of course, what it entails, the priorities for 2025 and so forth. Let's hear about that.
Yes, so, again, I must commend the leader, because while everyone was drinking soil and ginger beer and eating black cake, she was working like a beast. Now, top of the list is empowering and expanding our membership. So I can't give you all the secret sauce to our strategies, but critical is being able to drive more members, attract more talent, and bring in capable, competent, and people who are committed to country and service above self into the party. So women, youth, in the expanding of the membership, I just spoke about the NMP Institute, where we're going to be, training people about the party history, the constitution, leadership, effective canvassing, effective campaigning, social media content creation, training up young people, providing employment opportunities for them in the field. That's going to be critical. Creating pathways for people to come and contribute to the party, but they don't necessarily have to come and plaster themselves with green or be out and loud like that, because let's face it, not everyone wants to be like that. So we are working on strategies to ensure we can get that done. Preserving our core values is another very critical thing. How do we ensure that we induct and instill the values in any new member into the party? How do we ensure that we hold people accountable into the organization? How do we ensure that we promote a certain level of respect, integrity, confidentiality, commitment, and accountability in the party, so that everyone holds each other accountable to the values and the principles and the vision that I just shared? That's super, super critical on the list of things to do. Then, most critically, how do we modernize our structures and systems? Technology is moving at light speed. How do we leverage the digital tools, AI? How do we ensure that we are at the forefront of data analytics as a party? So when we come forward, it's not just things we sit down and just dream about spontaneously, but whatever we craft is what the people need and is the crying issues of the people. How do we effectively coordinate our constituencies? All of those things, leadership training, preparation for election with digital innovation and so on at the forefront. That's top of our list as well. Then the most important thing, the money, the green. How do we ensure that we can put the party on a stronger financial footing going forward? Our finance committees, our fundraising arms, our different strategies to fundraising and campaign financing. How do we be able to get that going? And she has been presenting ideas, sharing strategies, also taking in strategies from our membership. That is going to continuously be happening so that we could tweak and find the right possible framework that could be the most effective for us going forward. And then one of the most important things going forward, how do we continue to foster the unity and build those strategic alliances that we need to ensure that the party can take it to the next level? So that's local, regional, international, collaborating with civil societies, the religious groups, the grassroots organizations, all segments of society, because we are big on consulting and engaging with the people. That's NNP. So expect that to be accelerated to foster the unity, foster those alliances, foster those relationships that are going to be critical to taking us into the future. And trust me, the executive is excited. The wider party is going to be more excited as we take this vision to them on a community and a constituency level. And once you're able to get that buy-in, trust me, the NNP is going to look way different and going to be a beacon for the people of Grenada in the short term, medium term, and it's only going to increase in the long term because we laser focused on executing right now.
Now, it's those plans that you spoke of, and you did spoke a whole lot pertaining to the plans and those strategic plans of the Honorable MP for the New National Party. Does that play the role of the overall vision that the party have, especially that long-term vision for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique?
Yes, definitely. I mean, come on, you have to get your house in order first before you could think about running country, you know. And we recognize that. And as I said, after our loss, we've been in the back room, licking on our wounds and looking at where we have to improve. And this is a direct response to data that we have received and gathered over the period of losing and even looking at our approaches before. So this is once the party can become what we envision it to be, united, strong, effective, and executing on the forefront of innovation, driven by youth, a hybrid of the traditional knowledge of the elders mixed with the vibrancy of the youth, then that's definitely going to give us the momentum to be able to infect the rest of the country with that energy and drive an agenda for the country that will result in a similar evolution as we're going to see with the NNP. So it's all connected, because at the end of the day, how we are as a party is going to reflect how we are in government. And we can see it now with the current administration. How they are as a party is reflected in government. Like, where is the past leaders, like the Honorable Tillman Thomas and so on, like in terms of giving advice to the current government so that they don't make some of the silly mistakes that they're making. You know, that's critical. So as I said, let's look at it like this. The party is like a pilot, it's like a model, it's like a guinea pig. It's going to be like an experiment where we can then test out all those things and prove success, work out the kinks, and then once we have that model running efficiently, it's then very easy to replicate it in the society, because going forward, we have to be data-driven in terms of how we develop our country. So, you know, let's just use that as an example.
All right, Kitaka, we due for a break. Let's take it, and when we come back, we continue the conversation. We also would invite our listeners and viewers, if they do have a question or two as we go through the next segment, they're invited to call in and share their views and concerns also. Let's take that break. We're coming right back, folks. Stay with us. Classic Radio GBN TV.
It's clearly documented that we have been having, as a planet, an increase in incidence of cancers. So remember, cancer is a genetic disease.
When you now look at somebody's DNA or their genetics, it can tell you everything about a person. So what we use next generation sequencing to do in particular is to look at hereditary cases of diseases.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Looking to take your business to new heights? Advertise with GBN on our social media platforms and get noticed by our 138,000 plus followers. Reach a massive engaged audience ready to connect with your brand. No matter your business size, GBN is here to help you grow. Contact us today at admin@gbn.gd or WhatsApp 407-8458 to get started.
Coming up, these chefs and mixologists produce their creative best for their biggest party yet. This steel band has been making a difference for over 40 years. An island filled with beauty, a vibrant culture, and an iconic natural attraction. Now, where can this be? It's all next on this station.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers, to The Point, Classic Radio, GBN TV. Let's welcome back my guest. That's Kitaka with us this morning. Let's say good morning. And he's the Public Relations Officer of the new National Party. Kitaka, you did mention something in our initial conversation as relates to, of course, that particular NMP Institute. Let's hear a little bit about that before we are, because the phone's already going. But I want to hear a little more details about the objectives of this and how this development, especially for the youth, will attack and how it will attract, I should say, new membership and so forth into the new National Party. That NMP Institute. Talk to me a wee bit about as relates to that.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to give you all my secret sauce. I'm just giving you that disclaimer. As I said previously, like, it starts with people who come into the party. Like, they need to understand the vision of the party. They need to know what we stand for. They need to be committed. So we have to inculcate that through a systematic approach of education. So the Institute is going to teach people about the party history, our constitution, leadership training, effective canvassing, effective campaigning, social media, and all the different aspects that are necessary for the effective functionality of a political party, project management, whatever. We are going to ensure that we have the programs internally to train the people that come into the party. Because at the end of the day, this is not just about winning an election tomorrow. It's also about building capacity. And those skills are not only limited to the party. Someone who learns about all these things could maybe go in St. Lucia and go and work with a political party over there, or some of the skills are transferable in different sectors. So that's going to be very, very, very critical going forward. So we are working. You'll be updated over time in terms of more specifics, and definitely young people who are interested in benefiting from that institute can start reaching out, sending you information, like, let's connect. And I look forward to the engagement, and definitely I see this as critical to be able to build the next generation of NNP and to ensure that the party can be strong, united, and fit for purpose for the future, which is the call that the Grenadian people has labeled onto us after our many years in office and losing the election in 2022, and we're responding appropriately based on what the data has been saying. And so we look forward to the support of the Grenadian people in all those endeavors.
You also mentioned a whole lot about modernizing the party. What kind of that approach would say? How would that particular approach be?
I mean, it starts out from as simple as being able to bring our digital records onto the cloud, online. It speaks to leveraging AI tools to be able to optimize productivity. It speaks to being able to develop platforms that empowers our membership to be able to execute the jobs that they're doing right now. It speaks about standardizing our workflows and processes across all the different departments and creating those integrated systems and platforms to ensure that we can work. It also speaks to us being able to train in digital literacy and get people up to speed with being able to utilize those tools and so on. So, I mean, you cannot be serious right now as a political party and not thinking about innovatively leveraging digital technology to improve your operational processes.
All right.
If we're not on that, like, people, it's better we just forget about us. Like, there's no other way around it. There's no other way. And we are laser focused on ensuring that our party is at the forefront of digitization and really taking things to the next level.
All right,
That's simple.
Great. This segment I did mention that we're going to invite our listeners and viewers out there who may have a question or two they may like to throw out to you as being the Public Relations Officer of the new National Party. Let's go to the phone line and go to our first caller.
Greetings, good morning, Mr. Telesford. Greetings and greetings to you. Yes, Happy New Year to all. Listen.
All right, good morning to you, sir, and welcome.
I do not wish to ask questions. I just want to throw out something here, and in a bid to rouse the curiosity of this young man. First of all, I should say, young man, you do impress me, and you should know, I don't bluff people.
Hold on, I'm not hearing him too clearly, huh?
Oh, I'm not sure the reason why, but
strange enough, Mr. Telesford.
Go right ahead, sir.
So let him go on, GT, and maybe you could summarize this question to me.
Go right ahead, sir.
Jesus, I wonder why they don't hear me so well. But anyway, he seems to be doing a good job with his eloquence and the way he puts forward what I reckon he's being trained to do. But I want to make a suggestion, young man. In your profile, party proposed to do, and otherwise, and so on, education, blah, 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 the technology, digital development. I didn't hear anything about history, civic, ideological studies and development. Why do I raise this? It may sound crazy. As a young man, you may or you may not know that Grenada has never been a politically independent and sovereign nation state. The documents are there to prove it. I would like to introduce you and your party to take the other step by making the constitutional architecture of Grenada one of your primary studies. The documentation is there. I hope that you will take me up on it so that somewhere along the line we can hear you coming forward and telling the people the truth about what you read and learned. And so we can take the other step to bring about a new constitution in Grenada for the future of the country, which would involve all. Thank you very much for what it's worth, Mr. Telesford.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. He actually mentioned, of course, the history and development. He spoke a whole lot about that in terms of the constitutional development and changes that may need. How is the new National Party plan on doing that, of course, in the upcoming year or so as they move forward towards the next general election and so coming forward? I hope you got the gist of his questions.
NMP constitution or the constitution of
I think it more speaks of the Grenada's constitution.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'm a fan of Rollo. I've always heard him online, and he is always someone who has educated Grenada a lot about the Constitution. And definitely, as a party, we definitely have to, again, listen to the data. We are in the process now of rigorous data gathering to see where the Grenadian people's sentiments are at and what critical constitutional areas that people feel like, hey, we need to make a move on that. And obviously, once we have that data, then we have to do all in our power to ensure as best as possible to be able to make those changes that we need to ensure that our constitution and our future is fit for purpose in terms of going forward. Because it's easier said than done in terms of needing the majority, and I really hope that in our next stint in office, and I cannot just come out and speak without consensus of the party, but generally, we have to be able to foster a certain level of unity within the country so that constitutional reform can be seen as a national issue and not necessarily a political partisan issue where the different political parties just kind of fight about an issue, as opposed to us looking at the issue objectively and say, hey, is it something that we want to do in terms of changing the term limits? We brought things to the table before for constitutional reform as a party, so definitely that demonstrates our commitment to making changes. But at the end of the day, we need to definitely leverage the unity of the people to say, hey, we're going to put term limits to two terms, and they agree, and we make that decision with a referendum, as well as many other things that we see critical based on what the data shows. So definitely, citizen Rollo, that's critical. And new leadership and the party definitely is going to look into that and again make data-driven decisions.
Okay, we do have another caller via the WhatsApp. WhatsApp caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Yes, Mr. GT, morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
And to your guests, Mr. Kitaka.
Good morning, sir. Happy New Year
Young
to
man,
you.
I don't recognize this kind of time as New Year. New Year starting spring. Sorry for that. But I've been listening to you, spokesman. I've been given the job of my lifetime, and you are an amazing spokesman. They could not have maybe chose a better person than you. And when people are, for example, having to choose that Shell has gone to the background but still is in the forefront, I'll give you an answer to give to them. The Prime Minister, Mr. Dickum, when he became the leader of the NDC, he gave a farewell dinner to all the stalwarts of the NDC party. And in doing it so, what he was saying, hello, block, step aside, go sit down on your armchair and relax yourself. I'm going to take charge of things. And what we see nowadays happening in this country. One of the NDC, he was a minister during the 1990 and 95 administration of the NDC people. He said to me in a long conversation one evening that when these guys were trying to get into power, they buy him all the time. From the time they got into power, they don't know if he's existing. They have no words to say to him. Not one of them visit him. They had nothing to do with him. And don't let that happen with Dr. Mitchell. He is a critical factor in determining the course of this country. He has done it, and he's going forward still with it. Take care, gentlemen. Be the spokesman. Love to hear you.
Thank you, caller. I hope you did get to hear most of what the caller did.
I'll like a bit, but you could summarize. He's speaking about like us valuing Dr. Mitchell and so on.
He was actually speaking in reference to you, of course, like he was speaking to the current, of course, Prime Minister and leader of the National Democratic Congress when they got into power. He had a farewell, I hope I'm getting his words correct, a farewell dinner for all the past leadership of the party, and he's saying, just to move forward, he's saying, he hope that the new National Party would not do that to Dr. Mitchell in terms of keeping him relevant within the party and so forth. I'm just trying to summarize.
As I said, Dr. Mitchell is Dr. Mitchell, and once he has life, he has given his commitment to always support the party. And again, as you grow in life, rather than doing a lot with your body, start to do a lot more with your mind and your wisdom. And we learn from him and suck from him every day, and definitely we have not taken the approach. He's actually the chairman of the party, but also it's a balancing act where we are given opportunity. The new members have opportunity to grow, develop. But Doc is always a call away. Gregory Bowen is always a call away. And it's not only Doc. It's a lot of stalwarts in the party. Some present, some not visible. That we have to ensure that these relationships are fundamental because we have to build on what we have. It's not a situation where we come in and throw what we have aside. No. That would be committing political suicide. So I definitely agree with that caller, and I take it as a reminder and a warning, and we're definitely going to heed the call to ensure that we get that hybrid between new and what was there before. I don't even like to call it old because it's still relevant and important and critical.
All right, thank you. We do have another caller. I hope you're able to hear this call. I'm not sure why we're experiencing that issue, but let's get to this caller. Caller, your life. Good morning.
Good morning, JT. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing pretty well. I hope go right ahead.
Good morning to your guest. I've never met him before, and I've never met leader of the MLMP before. I wish I could meet him and have a conversation so I could know where they stand, so we can be on the same page. But you hear people talk about they want change. Then they go to former Tillman Thomas, they go back to Dr. Mitchell, then they go to Deacon Mitchell. They call in for change. And in my humble establishment and experience, I've seen something at just 1 minute. And there were these two ladies in my shop. They had two sons. One get up and buy her son a snack. And instantly, the mom realized that there's another child there. She get up and buy the next child a snack. Then come the father. The father buy his son a malt to drink. The son without the malt, watch that little boy drink that malt, go down right down to the bottom. And the father never clicked in his head that there's another child here and he may want a malt to drink also. So I still have to say that people call for change. But I believe that is a woman they want to run this country. I believe that we need somebody with a little bit of caring. If you look at how men operate this country before, you can see clearly that they don't care. We need a woman at the helm of this country to see a little bit of change. I do believe that. And I think people are thinking about that right now. They are really thinking hard about that. And I think we should make that move to see. Because we put Deacon Mitchell in there and we can see there is no change. So we need that level of change in this country. And we think we need to trust in a woman a little bit right now to see what's going to take place. Have a nice day, brother.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. Appreciate your contribution. I think you were able to hear that call a little better this morning. You were not able to. I'm not sure what's really going on this morning, but certainly hope that. Well, I'm not sure why. But he was actually speaking in terms of change. And he was creating the analogy where he was saying that, there was a particular shop that there was a woman with 2 children. Even though she had her own son, she was able to share with another. And he's saying that sometimes the changes that we need may not always be, he was saying the relevance also with a man being there would not have offered anything to another child because would share it with his child only. So he's saying that now that we have a woman being part of the New National Party, maybe changes what we need to spread. I hope you get the gist of where I'm going with this. So I'm just trying to summarize what he was saying.
The amazing thing about our current political leader is she has appeal across genders. Because yes, she's a woman, so obviously, the woman power vibes and first woman leader, on a more superficial level. Yeah, like what was happening in America. But also, do you know that if she polls extremely well with young men, she has built so many strong relationships with young men when she used to be going around on the blocks and so on, all over the communities. And really, she has a passion. She would tell you that she loves to work with young men. So it's going to be a situation where I predict that she's going to poll very well and attract a lot of young men into the New National Party. It's already happening. Even some of the guys who might be over the years, the things would have fall by the wayside. They're looking to her now for that level of inspiration. And I'm sure under an Emmeline Pell leadership, you'd see significant reduction in crime and so on because of that level of special attention that is going to be placed to our young men who are on the fringes, as well as, obviously the feminine energies coming in, that level of compassion. She's an excellent listener. She's not egotistical in any way. She listens to almost everybody, and she likes to consult. She loves people, and I think that's definitely going to be an asset for our party going forward. And you could already see people who might not wanted to identify with the party before for whatever reason, if they had issues with Dr. Mitchell or whatever, they are feeling more comfortable maybe to come on to an honorable Emmeline Pell leadership. So I'm very excited about the prospects of being able to attract people that we may not have been able to attract before with Emmeline Pell, because that's just who she is as a person. And so I look forward to that. I thank the caller for making that point. So
okay, great. We do have another caller. Caller via WhatsApp. Good morning. You're welcome.
Hey, good morning, GT.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, my brother. I remember the Kitaka. What name again? No disrespect to your name.
Kitaka.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, I'm going to use the word "my brother." Okay, I think that's more appropriate in my discourse. All right. Okay, I was listening to you. All right. I should be honest with you. You sound great. Some people may ask the question, "Where were you all the time?" Instead of Mr. Bowler and all the others. I heard him mention concern like the economy and how the activities was going on for the Christmas. And then, as far as I recall, because I listened to the media, MTV, GBN, I think was one of them, went to the street, and people were saying they have a good Christmas. They didn't feel it in the pocket, as you're saying, all right? So, we could have a little dispute on that one, because the word on the street, when I speak to folks home, everybody was having a great Christmas. We also able to see the lighting up of the Breakwater project in such a general. Okay, my question to you, all right? Okay, I want to know if you're satisfied with the way the convention went down and the committee that was formed and the way Peter David was treated, and for Emmeline Pell to rise to leadership of the party. Do you think that was an honest and a fair way, and that is something that young people should look into to see how somebody get into a leadership of the party? Okay, that's my first question. And then my second question, I know you talk about you guys treat every day like election is coming soon. The Prime Minister already make it. There's not going to be no election in 2025 and 2026. So basically, election going to be in 27. Okay. Okay, and during that time, your party, based on your constitution, I don't know if you read the constitution, but I did read it, said that every year that your party should have a convention, which telling me that even the leadership will be up for grabs, because the only time your leadership is nobody could go up against your leadership if the person is prime minister, like far as I learn about the constitution, which I still have to look into. So within that time, you have two conventions. Emily Pierre could still be challenged, and even she could be challenged by Peter David. And also in the last convention of the two I mentioned, she could also be challenged by Kit Mitchell himself. He could come back and say, because remember, he's still the chairman, he could put up himself. So tell me now, how could you guys boasting up Emily Pierre as someone preparing for the next election where you have another convention? Isn't that something in your party that will change the convention and bypass the other two conventions to come going into an election and put her as a person going against Dick Mitchell? Thank you. Have a great day. And you got great energy. I love you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, caller.
I think you're in the wrong party.
We may be our final caller for the morning because we seem to be having some issues in terms of you hearing. Tikata, I hope that you were able to hear everything that caller actually said.
You have to help me again.
Yeah.
Like what happens, I hear certain words and then it goes out and it comes back in. So
I am not sure what's causing the problem. That may have to be looked into, but sometimes this is fine. I'm not sure what's taking place this morning. So let me see if I could help in terms of he was actually speaking in terms of if you were happy in terms of the running of the convention that took place in December, in terms of the two challenges that was up for political leader, the Honorable Peter David and Honorable Pierre, and then the process that took place where the Honorable Peter David had to drop. But you want to know if you were happy in relation to how that process took place, something along those lines. That was one of his questions.
For me, my only area of disappointment was I thought that Honorable Peter David should have contested. I mean, that would have been fun to see like what would have transpired in terms of the vote. Like, I think that was my major form of disappointment. I hear people talking about, the delegates list and all of that. Like, I was elected as a PR. I didn't have access to no delegates. I wasn't able to campaign for no delegates or anything. So it's like, hearing that, I'm like, okay, well, maybe I should have maybe had a campaign for the PRO, or So for me, it's like, I don't know. I think, let's for hypothetically, if I was in Peter's position, to be a delegate, you have to be a member of the party. So if I wanted to campaign to people, I would have looked at the membership of the party. And I would have reached out to them people and tried to pitch to them, Like, that's what I would have done. So whether or not, if you have the influence and you people, parties support you and so on, then you come and contest. And at the end of the day, when two people come up to contest the election, nobody can see who you vote for. So he could have tested his theory and seen where he was. But I think like a lot of his supporters and so on must have been disappointed that he didn't, contest. I don't know. I mean, I'm new to the party, so I can't speak to the history of the party like that. I'm learning, and as I said, I'm going to sit down at the feet of Doc and the other people and continue to learn and grow in my role. But from my vantage point, I was disappointed that he did not come and contest. And also, I had no access to the list of delegates. No one did. People submitted the list. The party organization may have dealt with that, and people show up and they vote for who they wanted. I mean, at the convention, I think there is fact and there's propaganda. At the convention, the energy was very jubilant. Even delegates from the tongue of St. George came at the convention and voted and supported Emily Pierre. So a lot of the things is sometimes fabricated outside. And I'm not going to say that there might not be any disgruntlement between whoever, but as I said, we have to focus on rectifying those disgruntlements, unifying the party, and moving forward. Even after the convention, our political leader personally called the Honorable Peter David and reached out to him. So it's we are focused on rebuilding, moving forward. So that's what I would say on that. What was the other question? I think he had two questions.
Well, I didn't get all of the questions he asked also, but we are a bit strapped for time, Kitaka. So I'm going to ask you to make some your closing contribution for the program this morning before we take a wrap.
Oh, and let me tell you, going forward, I don't afraid calls, you know, we could take more calls, you know.
But we strapped for time. We already gone
and
over
I love
the
to
time.
engage with the people, and it's all about building.
Well, I have canceled the call segment because
whether they're antagonistic of the same view or not, I think it's healthy and it's political maturity.
All right.
My final point I would make is LNP is answering the call of the people. We are listening to you. We are continuing to gather more data, and we are getting ourselves fit and ready to come and win the next general election and have a developmental agenda that could take Grenada to higher heights. And we are putting the call out to anybody, young, old, woman, boy, girl, whoever. Reach out to the party, find out how you can get involved. We have a lot of exciting things coming up in the year, and we're excited to have you to be a part of it. We love you, Grenada, and I know people who are going through whatever they're going through. We are there to give you hope and to be with you and to carry you through as much as we can with the limited energy and support and resources and so on we have in opposition. We can just still be and support each other, and definitely you're going to see lots of exciting and different innovative things from the party going forward. Thank you for your time, GT, and I look forward to seeing you consistently, and let's build a relationship and continue the good vibes.
All right, it's a pleasure to also have you with us this morning, Kitaka, and of course it's a pleasure to having that conversation with you. It's a jubilant conversation, the kind of conversation I like to get engaged in. Have yourself a good one until we do this again. Hope to see you next weekend. Don't forget to invite the doc. We need the doc to come in.
We have a schedule, because again, NMP is not like certain other party where one man talking. We're giving people opportunities to come and talk, and we trust and give people opportunities to grow and develop. So you're going to talk to a lot more young people. You're going to talk to some of the stalwarts, and we're going to have a good vibes going for 2025.
I only understand that, but don't forget to invite the doc to come on the program, please.
I tell you, I want to go in the plantation and interview him, but don't worry, I'll talk to you for you. Don't worry.
Have a good morning, sir. All the best. Have a good day. All right. Hey, folks, that's when we take a wrap for this edition of To The Point. I want to thank all who contributed towards the program. I thought we can have this issue with the phone line rectified. After we wrap up, we're going to have that taken care of. Until then, have a good one, folks. That's when we say goodbye for this edition of To The Point. Goodbye.